Hi, I'm Sally. Welcome to my channel. As so many others have done already, I've decided to live full-time in my motorhome. I've been doing it for about 6 months now. And in fact, I'm actually currently parked next door to my sticks and bricks in a vacant lot that my neighbors own, because unlike many other people, I chose to hold on to my house. I don't know how long I'm going to want to do this for. I know there's plenty of stuff that I want to see, but I like to have options. And so when I got ready to change this lifestyle, I started doing a whole lot of investigation. This is actually my second rig, first as a full-timer, but I had originally a travel trailer, and I traveled around the country in that for about 5 years, had a great time doing it and wanted to do more. But my decision was, because I wanted to be able to boondock on public land and do that without having to be concerned as a solo female traveler about what might be going on outside. With the travel trailer, if there was something going on outside that made me feel uncomfortable and I wanted to leave, I'd have to go out into uncomfortable to be able to leave. That didn't make great sense to me, so I only boondocked when I was actually traveling with friends up until I got this rig. This is a motorhome, small. It's only 24 feet 10 inches long, and one of the things that I like about it a lot is most motorhomes are 8 feet wide. This is only 7 feet 7 inches, and you wouldn't think 5 inches would make that much difference, but it really does in terms of being able to work through traffic and parking and all of those kinds of things. And the other thing about this is it's only about 2.5 feet longer than my pickup truck was, so you know, it's really easy to drive and I can put it pretty much anywhere. In fact, there were two other issues with having the travel trailer. One of them was I'd be driving down a road, I'd see a sign for something that looked interesting, and without having researched it ahead of time, I'd have no idea if there would be room for me to park and turn around and all that kind of stuff. So I was missing out on a lot of things that I really wanted to be able to do. And with the small motorhome, I can go anywhere. So that's like super easy. And then the third thing, and it's not an issue yet, but I figured it might be eventually, is that just the very act of hooking and hitching and unhitching the trailer was going to become difficult the older I get. So for all of those reasons, I had started looking for a motorhome. I actually wasn't even thinking about making that switch for another year or two, because I am a serial entrepreneur. I still have two businesses. When I started this endeavor full-time, I spent a fair amount of time investigating how to be able to live and work on the road and work that out. I spent about almost 6 weeks traveling and learning how to be able to do that. And interestingly, I met with my mentor earlier this year, and his first question was, what do you want to work on in my business? And we're chatting for about 15 minutes, and I said, I think I want to work on being retired. I think I want to be done with that. And so what's worked out incredibly well for me is when I left my sticks and bricks to go full-time RVing, I turned my house into an Airbnb. And I did that for a couple of different reasons. One of them is I didn't want to be in a position where I had somebody in the house long-term. I've done long-term rentals a couple of times previously with my own properties. And in both cases when I've done that, I've had really unfortunate results. And I've been very unhappy with the outcome. In fact, the first time I did it, I ended up having to completely gut a house that was a month and a half old when I rented it. I mean, brand new house, right? Rented it for 7 months, and when we came back, had to completely gut it. Floors, subfloors, wallboard, drywall, everything had to come out and get completely redone. And so that was, and exterminated like 5 different times. That was horrifically bad. And then the second time, I had moved from one part of the country to another part of the country, and I turned that house, my previous house, into a corporate rental with the agreement that only visiting engineers were going to be there. They were only going to be there for up to a couple of months at a time, no families. And that worked out really well for about 1.5 years, and then the company decided they were putting a family in. And part of the arrangement had been that we were continuing to try and sell the house, and this was back in the 80s, bad time to sell anything. But we were continuing to try and sell the house during that time, and they agreed that they'd make it available for showings and so forth. Well, when the family moved in, they decided they liked it a lot and they really didn't want to move. So anytime somebody would come to look at it to purchase, they'd tell them that the landlords were awful, they didn't fix anything, the place was falling apart. None of this was true, of course. And ultimately, I wound up selling it to that family just to be able to get this done and over with after they'd been in there for, I think, about 2 years at that point. So, no long-term rentals for me. I just don't have the emotional fortitude for it. It upsets me too much to do that. The Airbnb thing, however, is working out extremely well. And in fact, in the first 4 months that I had it on the market, I was rented at least 4 times a month and often 5 times a month, sometimes 6. And that's what allowed me, when I was meeting with my mentor earlier this year, to be able to say, yeah, I think I'm ready to just be retired from my real estate business. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that if you're one of my past clients and you're looking for help with real estate, still reach out to me, because I want to make sure that you get hooked up with somebody that will do a really good job for you, because, you know, that's really important, obviously. And if you're just watching this and you want a really good real estate agent, whatever part of the country you're in, because I've got a bunch of the top agents throughout the country that I'm really close friends with, be happy to make a recommendation for you. Anyway, so this is all about how I got to this point. And so the name of the channel is Sally Forth. Forth is not my last name. The name of the channel is Sally Forth. You might remember the cartoon character, I think from back in the 80s. Sally Forth was a bit of a risk taker, a glass ceiling breaker, a think outside the box kind of gal, always looking for adventure. And when I started thinking about doing this, I thought it really fit pretty well with my philosophy. So what you're going to see on this channel is going to be some of my travels, it's going to be some of my philosophy, it's going to be some health and wellness stuff, some healthy cooking and so forth. And for today, I'm actually sitting inside because it's too bloody hot to be outside, and I'm about to turn the air conditioner on because we are up to 96 degrees inside now. We're having a tremendous heat wave here in Southern California. I can't wait to leave and get back into some cooler weather. Looking forward to that. I'll be out of here in just a couple of days, and then back out on the road where I belong, having fun, exploring new things. And you can see behind me, I've got a map of the United States up behind me. I just put it up a couple of days ago, and I'm kind of planning to mark my route as I travel over the next year or so, all the places that I get to go visit. So I hope you'll come along with me. If you like this video, got anything out of it, and I hope you did, then please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.